And I'm going to send it to the VL. I love being iCarly. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right, while we wait for our usual viewers to join, we can hang out. We are recording every council this season, so you guys have been able to watch the Stars Council. They will be able to watch this one. Just because why not? That's fun. And oh my gosh, we do have a viewer. It is from last season, Captain saying, "Hey, icons." We love this. Okay. So we will get started with some questions. Somebody requested to go first, so I will start with that person, which is Ali. So Ali, some might say, I'm not going to say who, but some people might say that the Icons team is a little more messy on paper than the Stars team, just based on like past seasons. Would you say that that's a fair assessment or no?
Hell no. I mean, actually, yes, honestly. First of all, me who goes off on everybody at Tribal Council, you know? Sorry, sorry. Also, we have like people like Keegan, who's cool, Jason, who's like cool, Allison, who's like cracked as hell, like for real. And then we have Jay, like Starbucks, he's cracked. Jack is like sipping on his water, he's cracked. Jinx, icon. They don't give a fuck, you know, like I love that. And MJ, icon. But we're the better tribe, okay? We're no stars, but we're better. That's all I have to say. And I have to go because I was in my hotel room. You know, I'm at a formal event tonight. So yeah, okay.
I love that. Enjoy your formal event. 1 second. I accidentally sent the StreamYard link to the viewers, not what we wanted to do, so I'm just going to add them again. Thank you, William, for pointing that out. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to read the questions that I ask people ahead of time, and then I'll get to the rest of you. So I asked Cindy, I said, Cindy, what is the most important thing to accomplish with this vote? And Cindy said, not going home. 90% of votes, I'd say my number one goal is to not go home. So, don't vote me out. And then she said I should ask what the other 10% of the votes are. And then she said to fuck shit up, devil emoji. So we love that. Thank you, Cindy. The next question I asked was for Lily. I think Lily's studying for a test right now, so hopefully that goes well. And I said, Lily, does having such a big team make it difficult to come to a consensus on a vote? And Lily said, it might be, but my bigger struggle is I like everyone and I don't want anyone to leave. I have to say, I feel the same way. I like everybody. So I'm crying every single time somebody goes home. And then next I asked Lyndon. I think Lyndon is driving home, so she might join. We'll see. But I said, have past season lines come into play at all for this vote? And Lindy said, hi, Jess. Sorry you can't afford my appearance fees yet, even after selling RTP. Anyways, I don't think they've been that important. I'm adding more attitude to this. I don't think she meant for it to be read that way. A lot of us have had mixed past experiences with one another, so it's kind of just a fun, fresh start. Okay, we love that from Lyndon. Now we will get into questions for those of you who are here. Jack, I'm going to start with you because it has been so long since you've been at a council, so long since you've played. How is it getting back into things? Like, was it pretty easy for you?
No, it absolutely was not. I'm the only person from season 1 on this team, so I'm like, I feel so like old school and crazy. And like, I'll be the first to admit that I've like not been the most active like the last week, but I think like within the last few days, like I've tried to step it up. I like volunteered to do the challenge and stuff. Like I uh tried to talk to as many people as I could. So I think I've done like a good enough job, but like tonight's vote's been kind of like, like hasn't really been fun. It's just been kind of weird. It's been a weird vibe today. So I'll say that.
Jinx, since you're right next to Jack, I'll pick you. One thing that the Stars had mentioned for their first vote, for those who didn't see the council, was that it was very quiet, like all day, and then everything went into chaos. Was it kind of similar with this team, or was it a different vibe?
First, Jess, you look absolutely beautiful tonight. No, it was extremely quiet, and I kind of found that surprising considering like what the little I was hearing. And so part of the little I was hearing was that MJ was getting targeted because he knows Ari. So I'm sitting here like, okay, so if that's the case, then I'm going to get targeted because I know Crow. And I also know Ari. I played Battle of the Bands. And I'm sitting here just confused because I don't think it makes any sense when it's final 20. And the fact is, so-called alliances that I've had haven't even told me what they want to actually do, tell me the vote. And it makes me sad because I really, you don't always want to think you're at the bottom, but it's clear when you're not even talked to. So I don't know. I mean, I've been rocked out before for doing what I didn't want to do after being bullied by a white twink named Jared. So I'm not going to sit here tonight and do something I don't want to do when people won't even talk to me. I don't care if it means I'm in the minority. I really don't. But it just bothers me because it's again, my whole Crystal Kingdom experiences were people saying that I was in a pregame the whole entire time. And it was not true. So, and Lyndon was part of that. And, so it's just, I don't know, if we're going to judge on past game stuff, then I can literally name almost everyone here that has a connection. So I don't know. I don't think that's a good reason. If someone wants to come in my DMs and tell me a good reason to vote MJ, I'm all ears, but I'm not hearing something that makes sense.
Please do not give Jinx a good reason to vote for me.
Yeah, MJ, I feel like it's interesting to hear Ari's name brought up because Ari is not on this team, as far as I know. I mean, I could be wrong. I'd make mistakes, but I'm pretty sure they're not here. So like what's going on with that? Like what's
I
happening?
think first and foremost, there's a little bit of Ari inside of all of us if we're willing to search for it. I like to hope that it comes out of me in the best way, and I try to extend that inner Ari to people. Today, I mean, I was absolutely lacking in this first week socially. I would have been totally fine to hear today, hey, MJ, you're probably going to be vote tonight just because I've bonded with everybody else a little bit more. That would have been totally respectable to me. I would have get it. I would walk away feeling nothing but positive feelings for the people here, to instead hear, oh, MJ's being targeted because he's close to Ari, when I have expressed to some people, like, I don't want that to be my experience here. At the same time, I have no problem saying to all of you right now, to everybody on the other team, that I did apply to this game to play with my friend Ari, just the way that other people apply to games to play with their friends, just the way that people will literally align with their friends and dominate this entire game. I won't do that, but I will be, forthcoming and say, yeah, I want to play with Ari. We didn't get to play together in Galaxy's Edge. I would hope that we get the chance to do it this time. If we don't, then so be it. If I leave tonight, then sorry to Ari. That's just another, our ships passing in the night, unfortunately. And that sucks because a lot of other people won't have their ships passing each other. And some people are going to have to reckon with that later on. With that said, I just really hoped today that, with me opening myself up to people, with me expressing interest and finally like really trying to get to know people, that it would be reciprocated. I wasn't asked many questions today about my personal life. I wasn't asked many questions today about how I felt about the game. And at this late, on the day of a red carpet council, to me, that signals that I'm leaving. And some people will say, hey, MJ, you're leaving. I'm sorry. Other people will say, hey, how are you? And then if I ask them how they are, they might say it back, end of conversation. That's just the way that it is. But as it stands right now, I have no hard feelings towards anybody. Today was not the best day. But I hope that you all play, better games moving forward. I hope that you all treat your peers here in a way that you would want to be treated in the context of the game. If you don't want to be targeted for a silly reason, don't target other people for a silly reason. And I think that's all I have to say on that, Jess.
I love it. Thank you for the very candid answers. Allison, I think it's interesting to hear like Jinx talk about, pregame relationships from past seasons, or like to hear MJ talk about him and Ari, because like for you just played a season where pregame friendships beyond just orgs were obviously a very big factor in it. So for you, does having played a season like that make you care about that a little less, or is there a different perspective with that?
Yeah, I feel like it definitely makes me care a little less just because clearly, like, if you watched last season, I had a duo that I clearly know that is sitting in the same room as me right now. So I think that here he is. Um, I think that the thing about it is that it doesn't phase me as much just because, yeah, I knew Owen clearly beforehand. So it's not like I like someone could have just like last like season where the people that didn't necessarily know each other like had to build that relationship. I already had that relationship with Owen, but then I try to think about like, okay, now some people clearly know each other, and like I know people on the other team that from last season. Everyone knows someone from a season, so it makes me just care a little less. So to answer your question, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I always find it interesting when that topic gets brought up, especially on an all-star season, because like Jinx said, pretty much everybody has at least some form of relationships. Jay, like looking at, for example, Galaxy's Edge, like I know Lyndon kind of said, oh, past game lines aren't really relevant here, but like I think there are a lot of Galaxy's Edge players on this team. Like, is that something that if you're hearing pregame relationships come up, like does that make you a little nervous?
It did make me a little nervous day one when I saw five Galaxy's Edge people here. And I love my Galaxy's Edge people, like all of the people in the whole cast. But it hasn't really come up. At least I haven't heard anything about Galaxy's Edge being like a threat. I haven't been playing that way. There are people from that season that I haven't really talked to that much in this game so far. So for me, it hasn't really been a factor. But I don't know if other people have thought it is a factor.
I guess moving away from that a bit, but to an interesting kind of adjacent topic is like Keegan, do you feel like we have kind of like a wide array of past placements with our cast? So we've got some people, I think on this call, Allison is our highest placing person, and then we have some people. I'm not sure. I don't want to miss anyone, but I think that's right. But then, like for yourself, you went pre-merge last time. So do you feel like because maybe you went a little earlier when you played, there's like more to redeem with your game or like something you have to prove?
I don't know if there's necessarily something that I have to prove, at least not to anyone else. Yeah, I went pre-merge 14th place the first time I played. And I more so just want to kind of redeem myself to myself and show that maybe I'm not that terrible. Because I've had a streak of games now where I've just not made merge or jury or anything like that, and it sucks. And I would just like to make it a little bit further this time. So yeah, for me, I'm just trying to kind of prove to myself that maybe I'm not as terrible as I think I am sometimes.
I will just say nobody on the cast is terrible and nobody on this team is terrible because you're all icons and you wouldn't
But
be on
I
the team
am.
if you were not iconic. It is a requirement. Yeah, exactly. Allison says in the chat, you're still here, so you made some type of impression. That is so right. And then Justin, I guess we will end with you. I think that along those lines, like for you, you were someone who you went early, but then you came back in, and then you had like, I would say a fairly wild early merge leading up to your boost. It's like, how does that factor into the way you're thinking about playing here?
I don't know. I mean, I was not super great last season, but I also wasn't awful. Like my first vote out was because of Brian's safety without power, so I got advantaged out. So you can't always dance around that. So I think if I just do what I was doing and then start doing it even better than last season, I should be hopefully okay for a while, but I have no idea. I never have any idea what's happening.
I like that philosophy. Do what you were doing, but better. I think that's like how I'm gonna do everything in my life when I reflect
I-
on things.
I always assume I don't know what's happening.
That's also a good philosophy, I think. Okay, but those were our questions. The viewers are complimenting all of you, by the way. We've had a lot of people say everyone looks amazing. So I
Can
have to
I
agree.
say something?
Yes, you can say something.
Okay. I still don't know what's going on because I feel like I haven't gotten a lot of responses from people within like the last like hour, 2 hours. And like the only confirmation I got was on a voice call literally 2 seconds before I clicked the StreamYard link from somebody who's here right now. And like that's where I'm going right now. Like I like people were insinuating like, okay, so full transparency, the vote was between like 2 people today, right? And like more people were insinuating one over the other. And like nobody gave me a direct answer because everyone was just kind of like, I don't want to make the decision. I'm just gonna wait until, you know, somebody, but nobody hit that gas pedal. Nobody did. But I've come to the conclusion that the way that people were leaning towards before when they were weighing the options is the way that they were going with, and that's what I'm doing because I don't know. I have no idea, and I'm like freaking out. So like I've never shaken this hard during a tribal council before because I'm just like I don't know what's going on. And I don't think I've ever felt like this in my life before. So this is kind of new for me. I don't know what's going on. So I just wanted to say my piece with that. So hopefully I'm still here after this and we can maybe reconvene and figure it out together. But for now, coming into this vote, I did not feel comfortable and I did not know what I was going to do. So just wanted to throw that out there in case, you know, so.
Okay. If anyone else has anything they'd like to say in response to that, or just unrelated to it, now would be the time to say it before we do go to our votes.
I'm still in the hotel room, so you know, that just shows how much I love you guys. That I will leave a party to attend council with you guys. So if you guys, I know my name is easy to pronounce and it sounds like Ari, but just don't do me. Thank you.
We love that. Okay, thank you, Lee. All right, we'll be going into the votes. I'm going to play a 3-minute video. I mean, you all know what happens at the end of the video. Please send me your vote. If you want to change it, you can. Just please at me if you're going to change it so I don't miss it. That's it, and good luck.
Kumate Kuani Saro
Okay, before we get to the votes, if anybody has an immunity idol or another advantage they would like to play, now would be the time to do so.
Jessica,
Yes.
as you know, came into this game hoping that I'd get the opportunity to play as hard as I can instead of coasting before being unceremoniously booted at the top of the merge. So tonight I would like to play my hidden immunity idol on myself and hope that it makes a difference. And that's it.
Okay. I can confirm this is in fact a hidden immunity idol, so all votes for MJ will not count. Does anybody else have anything? Okay. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the red carpet council area immediately, but they will get a chance to say some final words. All right. I will get to the vote. First vote. MJ does not count. Second vote. MJ does not count. Third vote. MJ does not count. Fourth vote. MJ does not count. Fifth vote. MJ also does not count. Sixth vote. MJ does not count. Seventh vote. MJ does not count. Okay, so we have 4 votes left to read. So far, no votes that have counted. Eighth vote. Lily. Ninth vote. Allison. 10th vote. Lily. 11th vote. And the next person voted out of icons and stars is going to be decided in a revote because we have a tie between Lily and Allison. So the way that this works, everybody who is not Lily and Allison will be voting. You can only vote for Lily or Allison. I do have Lyndon's vote. She is not here, so I do know how she'll be voting. And that is it. I'm going to play the video, but if I get everyone's votes before the 3 minutes are up, I will end it. That is it. And here we go.
Ole.
Okay, here we go. You cannot play any advantages or idols, so I'm just going to get right to the votes. First vote, Lily. Second vote, Allison. Third vote, Lily. Fourth vote, Allison. Fifth vote, Lily. Sixth vote, Allison. Okay, so we are tied 3-3 for Lily and Allison. Seventh vote, Lily. Eighth vote, and the third person voted out of Icons and Stars is Lily. Okay, Lily is not here. I did not leave any final words, so I will let her say some afterwards and send them later on. But that is it. I would say, I mean, y'all are the icons, and that was very iconic. So let's see how the rest of the game goes.
Stars,
And
step
good
it up.
luck. Yeah, Stars, step it up. You heard it from Jack.